So this is Love is Like a Dream, and I have actually heard this one once, twice before, so it's not a completely blind react, but I haven't listened to it for a while, so yeah.
Я в глаза твои, как в зеркало смотрюсь, отражение потерять свое боюсь.
Listen to how much air he is letting escape through those notes. If we want to get really technical, it is caused by the thyroid cartilage and the thyroarytenoid muscles that are responsible for abducting and adducting our vocalis muscle or our vocal folds. So basically your vocal folds kind of have two layers, and part of that is the thyroarytenoid, which connects one kind of side of your larynx to the other side of your larynx. There's a bit of muscle there and some cartilage, and that is responsible for pulling the vocal folds outwards and inwards, outwards and inwards, outwards and inwards while we go through these cycles. And when they do not completely close, that is what's letting that little bit of air through. And I am amazed that his pitch is so well maintained while keeping that gap in. It's called a glottal chink, is what we call the kind of gap between our vocal folds when they're open like this. And I am just amazed. I am amazed by the breathiness and consistency of him. And his vocal fry at the beginning was impeccable. The vocal fry is when your vocal folds are at their most relaxed state. That is your vocal fry. And you can't injure yourself by doing vocal fry. You can injure yourself by constantly having your larynx over-lowered if you're really trying to hit the low notes like this and you're purposefully trying to lower your larynx. That can cause strain and you can damage yourself that way. Vocal fry in itself is a very healthy thing to practice, and it can help you lower your range if that is something you are looking to do.
Не хочу, чтоб я лишь гостем был в сумраке ночей и в судьбе твоей. Я люблю тебя, как любят в жизни раз.
This pianist just like not even looking at what he's doing. So I don't know if this is a backing track or if he's just that level of a piano man. I mean, whatever. It's cool.
Словно солнце в мире не было до нас, от забот и мелких ссор я тебя увел, и ключи от счастья для тебя нашел, для тебя нашел. Любовь, похожая на сон.
Did you hear the little waver on that note? I don't know if that's because it's kind of maybe up in his chest mix a bit for him. I wouldn't have thought so. I've heard him done far more intricate notes than kind of what I imagine that would be for him. But there was a little waver in it. I wonder maybe also if it's because he is changing the breathiness of his voice throughout that note. It starts off a lot breathier, and then he thickens the muscle while he's drawing that note. And that is probably the main thing that amazes me about him as a singer, is how versatile he can use his voice, sticking to one note, and he can just completely warp his sound however he chooses to. And that is real skill.
Сердец хрустальных перезвон, твое волшебное люблю. Я тихим эхом повторю, любовь, похожая на сон, счастливым сделала мой дом, но вопреки законам сна, пускай не кончится она. Я прощаю одиночество и грусть. Ты сказала в них, я больше не вернусь. Так бывает только в сладком сне, но любовь у нас наяву сейчас. Мне в глазах твоих себя не потерять.
That was insane. It was strong and chesty and heavy and then just breath.
До разлуки нам любовь не разменять. И немыслимой ценой, и своей мечтой.
There's his habit. There's his identifier.
Заслужил я это счастье быть с тобой, быть всегда с тобой. Любовь, похожая на сон, сердец хрустальных перезвон. Твое волшебное люблю. Я тихим эхом повторю, любовь, похожая на сон. Счастливым сделала мой дом, но вопреки законам сна. Пускай не кончится.
After the last one turned out to be a lip sync, I have kind of lost the plot quite a lot now with him. Like, I don't really care if it is a lip sync or if it's not a lip sync. As singers, we are damned if we do, damned if we don't now. If you get a note even slightly out of pitch when you're singing live, people will be the first to criticize you and say that you can't sing. But when you use a little bit of auto-tune or if you use backing vocals or pre-recorded vocals, people will criticize you for not singing live. So I don't think we can really win, and especially if you're doing a global performance, like I imagine this was, that, yeah, you've got to pick your battles and do what you feel is right for you as a performer. And I also don't mind if this is a pre-recorded version, you can still hear his breathing in this. It may have been compressed and leveled out. Some EQs may have been brought up maybe. I don't think there's a lot of change that they would have done to his vocals here other than minimizing kind of breaths and any peaky notes if it has been touched at all, if it isn't live.
Любовь, похожая на сон, счастливым сделала мой дом, но вопреки законам сна. Пускай не кончится. Браво!
I can't with him. Can I stop now? This is too much for my head. My head. His mix, just on some of those notes, I just can't. It's phenomenal. I really liked on that last note, he slid up from the note just below. up that. So what he's doing there is just making that stretch of his vocal cords to get that top note just a little bit more gradual and a little bit easier, so that there's not going to be as much constriction and the tone is more likely to be consistent. It's also meaning that he can get a big volume, a big note out. He knows the note that's coming. It's just incredible. I can't believe how long he held that note on for at the end there. I really thought his vibrato was going to come in quicker than it did, but he held it out straight tone for a lot longer than I thought. And then at the end, it was so long that I'd kind of just gone, oh my God. And then he had extra breath at the end. So listen to his release bang on the end and kind of goes, ah! And lets out all the remaining breath that is in him there. Sorry, that was really pitchy. You get the idea. How he still had remaining breath to exhale on the end of that note, I can't comprehend. And it's such a big belted head mix on that. He's phenomenal. He really is something else. I don't know what to do with him anymore. Thank you so much for asking me to react to him again. I thoroughly enjoy watching someone at this skill level perform. It is far exceeded anything that I could ever do. And he's only 28. He's 28. Last time afterwards, I was like, what is this man? What is going on? He's 28. That's a year younger than me. And look at how much he has accomplished. Like, that is what happens if you completely dedicate yourself. I'm aware he's done it from a very young age. I've been singing since a very young age, and I don't sound like that. But he has dedicated himself and his life so far, I'd imagine, to the study of and the practice of performing. I love how theatrical he is as well. It makes so much of a difference to having a singer that does not really want to be there. I'm aware that there is more Dimash to listen to and to react to, so I will try to do another one in a little while. I don't want the channel to become based off just any one artist or any one culture or any one genre. So I will do some more for you a bit later on. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. See you next time. Bye!